Sometimes the biggest wins start with the worst losses. It's the 2025 French Open final. Jannik Sinner is 3 championship points away from capturing his first Roland Garros title. Then, everything falls apart. Unforced errors spike, momentum flips, and what looked like a coronation turns into one of the biggest collapses the sport has ever seen. Sinner didn't just lose one of the best matches of all time, he became the victim of one of the greatest comebacks of all time. In sports, we often talk about greatness when someone wins. But what really defines greatness is what you do after the world watches you fall. This video is sponsored by Grapplesnake. I've been playing with Grapplesnake for years and I'm very proud to have them as my first channel sponsor. Grapplesnake strings are made in Germany and used by Wimbledon champion Julian Cash. They are constantly pushing innovation by listening to players and evolving their products. If you want to take your game to the next level, check out the link in the description and see why these strings are trusted at the top level. Every era needs a rivalry. Last season was the season that the Sinner-Alcaraz saga officially leveled up. Together, they piled up 129 wins and just 15 losses, an absurd 89.5% win rate, and the drop-off is cartoonish. The gap between Alcaraz and Zverev was the same as the gap between Zverev and the guy ranked outside of the top 1,000. These two aren't just the best players in the world, they are generational talents. The kind we see once every decade or once every era. But we've seen this before. It's 2006. Federer and Nadal own the sport. They've won all 4 slams, 7 of 9 Masters 1000 titles, and they meet in the French Open final. On one side, Nadal, the defending champ and a clear dominant figure on clay. On the other, Federer, who is undefeated in slam finals and only 1 French Open away from a career slam. 1 win away from a legacy that would already be untouchable at only 24. And then Rafa crushes him. This would come to be a common tale for Federer, as for 15 years straight, he would get dominated by Nadal on clay. But 4 weeks later, they met at Wimbledon. Federer resets, recalibrates, and plays one of the cleanest matches of his career. A complete flip of the script. Fast forward back to 2025, Sinner just suffered arguably the most brutal loss in tennis history. Does he care? Nope. He walks into Wimbledon playing the most locked-in tennis we've maybe ever seen from him. 3 matches, 3 straight set wins without dropping serve once. He looks unstoppable. Then, this certified unk has come to Wimbledon and been eviscerating everyone in his sights. Dimitrov takes the first set off Sinner and broke Sinner's serve for the first time all tournament. But it's only 1 set, right? Sinner should be able to bounce back. Dimitrov, a 33-year-old veteran, is 1 set away from knocking out the world #1, and honestly, it hasn't even looked close. But it was too good to be true.
Game.
Dimitrov is forced to retire after being 2 sets up in what could have been the biggest win of his career. Sinner survives and tears through Shelton and Djokovic and finds himself right back to where destiny wants him, facing the only man that seems to be able to stop him. Let's take it back again, this time to the Wimbledon final of 2008. One of the greatest matches ever and one of Federer's deepest heartbreaks. 1 year later, he's back in the final, lifting the trophy for the 6th time. If we compare both finals, Federer clearly played a cleaner match in 2009, but that's not the point. The point is that Federer didn't let the previous year's loss define him, and that's what the all-time greats do. Whether it's 1 point, 1 set, or 1 match, all the greats put those heartbreaking losses in the rearview mirror and focus on the next goal. Now, Sinner is standing in those shoes of all the greats before him, trying to replicate their success, facing the same opponent who crushed him at Roland Garros and a 2-time defending champ at Wimbledon. Most are betting on Carlos.
Of Alcaraz in 5.
I think Alcaraz is the favorite.
I went Alcaraz in 4, yeah.
If Alcaraz
gets them on clay, I think it stands to reason probably this is the better grass court player.
And early on, they looked right.
Wow.
After getting broken, Alcaraz reels off 4 straight games, 2 breaks a serve, and the first set is gone. The stats say nearly 70% of matches are won by whoever takes the first set. In their rivalry, when someone loses the opening set and still wins, it's all-out war. 5 sets of mass destruction. But Sinner doesn't care about percentages and stats. He flips the switch and detonates his bomb. Rivalries have always powered sports, but it's rare when we get to see the best players in the world battle it out on the biggest stages over and over again. The best matches we've seen over the past 20 years were generational events. The matchups between the big three shaped 2 decades of tennis, and we got spoiled. The big three met a combined 149 times with 57 finals and 23 Grand Slam finals just against each other. This was supposed to be it. But Alcaraz and Sinner had different plans. In just 4 years, Sinner and Alcaraz have already played 16 times. 6 meetings in major finals, all 6 going 4 or 5 sets. This is ludicrous, and we are only at the beginning of the journey, from suffering one of the worst defeats the sport has ever seen, to standing on center court serving for the match. Jannik Sinner proves that comebacks aren't just made in a match. They're made in the mentality you carry throughout your whole career.
Jannik Sinner takes his piece of Wimbledon history.